Darlings, we are live on location, which means the budgets went up. You've tuned in to New Job Who Dis. Happy, glorious Monday, one and all. You have tuned into New Job Who Dis, the journey through a lifetime of careers, jobs, failures, dreams, discoveries, life lessons that yours truly has gone through since the age of 14. And we are on the journey. I am your lovely and delicious host, Halston Boddy. And my podcast listeners, all 11 of you, you cannot see this right now. However, you might hear some what seems like outdoor noises. I am live in Palm Springs, California, because listen, we need a vacation every once in a while. I am clearly a hard worker, but mother needs a timeout. So I am out here, and my YouTube viewers, all 11 of you as well, you are witnessing live on location. As I said, the budgets clearly have gone up for this podcast just as we're getting close to the end. We've at least hit halfway. I just want to let everybody know who's watching and listening. If you've tuned in for the first time, again, I always say thank you. You have a lot to catch up on. I can't go back and reference everything, so you definitely have to take a long train ride or, crash the whole and just listen to all 30 plus episodes. But at the end of the day, if you've been here since the beginning, thank you. And we're here. We're doing it live because I feel like I needed just a little outdoor space and clear my head. It's been a week. We all know it's been a week. Listen, it's been 4 years. I mean, it's been a long time. We are just... we need a breather, and so that's why I'm here out in Palm Springs. To catch you all up as to where we are in this job and career journey, we are driving through this muddy part of self-discovery and understanding where I'm at and what I need to be doing, and just trying to get out of this dip that I'm in. And realistically, I'm in a dip. I'm in a dip because I've just been handed a whole stack of failures in a very short amount of time. I mean, realistically, I lost a game show where I could have won $250,000. I quit my comedy career. I stopped acting. I, worked for a political campaign that lost. I was starting to realize that the relationship I was in was not going to end, to the end, because we were going through this I was working at the No on Prop 8 campaign about marriage equality, and the person I was currently dating and with, we didn't have the come to Jesus conversation about, hey, I'm working for this political campaign that's going to fight for our right to marry. Let's get married. Let's show them. It wasn't on the books. It was, we were already domestic partners at that time, which was just a cute little certificate you got from City Hall, and you had some sort of rights, and you make beneficiary choices for your lover, but we were not fully vested in each other. And right, it was almost like a no-fault car accident. It was like, oh, I guess we just sort of aren't meant to be, and all that. What's funny to me, though, oh, you hear the cat? There's a cat. I told you, live on location, anything can happen. I'm kind of in this dip. I'm in this dip mentally. I'm searching for happiness in my job and career. I really didn't have one at the time, though. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was just chasing money. I was just trying to pay the bills. And even after I'd been through a bankruptcy in the early 2000s, I mean, we're getting close to 2010, 2009, 2010 era. It's during this time that I'm, just trying to just chase to pay the bills. And I had like one, maybe two credit cards, and they were low numbers. They weren't anything huge or crazy to, oh my God, these are going to be, problematic bills to overcome. But when you're scraping by, you're barely getting over to like try and make sure that you can pay the rent and pay the bills each month. It's tough. It's a challenge. My boyfriend had to toe the line for a little bit because I was being this artistic, fool, just trying to like get out there. And I say fool with love. I don't mean to demean myself. I was chasing these dreams. I was trying to get out of this box I was in of working jobs I really didn't invest in or care in. And I kind of been burnt out a little bit at that point. I kind of just felt like I was struggling to find myself. I, wasn't where I needed to be. So in the typical me sense, I went back to the drawing board in a way of hustling. I had to hustle because I didn't want to just go back to an office job. I didn't want to go back to like a phone company. I didn't want to go back to retail. I just kind of wanted to make some money. And the acting thing was kind of off the table because at that point I was just heavy. I was just a big dude. And I mean, I'm still a big dude, but this was like sloppy, messy big dude where I didn't really feel good about myself. I was just not in a good place health-wise. And I was, probably stress and anxiety eating after all of this loss and all of this, I don't want to call it negativity, but it's just like these forces that are just like, you're not winning life, kid. You're not making it. You're kind of just, you don't know what you're doing with this steering wheel. And I was too much in control. So I didn't want to just wander the earth and try and figure it out. I was like, no, I got to make money. I got to be practical. Practical. That's who I am. I'm a practical boy. So I essentially decided to try and figure out what I was good at. What am I talented at that it comes naturally? Like what was in my blood that I just could do and not be fussed about it? In fact, I kind of got a little bit of I feel like accomplished or, this is good. I like the fact that I'm feeling the results of this. This is giving me some sort of, good feeling that I'm getting through this. And it was house cleaning. What? House cleaning? What the hell kind of skill set is that? You decide that you want to be a house cleaner? And you could go through the whole like Hollywood stereotype too of like, don't most people in LA don't most people in Hollywood already have house cleaners? But at the end of the day, this also kind of gave me a notion to like find a niche. There was all sorts of niche cleaners. There's like nude cleaners out here, topless cleaners, and all these like, burlesque, teasy type of sexy cleaners. And then you, of course, had the practical cleaners, the Molly maids, and the house cleaners that are actual corporations and companies. Great. Sounds pretty fair and decent. Makes sense to me, right? So, but at the same time, I had a couple friends that I had pitched to that if they ever needed a house cleaner, I could do it. Now you're thinking to yourself, well, why would you be qualified as a house cleaner? What makes you the expert in house cleaning? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am my mother's son. I am my mother's son. She knows how to clean. She taught us how to clean. She didn't shy us away from making sure things were tidy or at least kept up. Now, she was not a white glove person. She was not a, OCD, mommy dearest. This is scrub. It must be cleaner. Like there's none of that. It's not clean enough. There was a sort of a common sense with her on a level of like, you can let it go until you notice it. It's really what it came down to. Like you can sort of keep your house a little dusty. Floors aren't perfect. They're not shining. When you're just living at home with your family, right? You've got kids. It's going to get a little dirty, a little rough and tumble, right? But she, as a mother, taught us to clean. I mean, it wasn't like lessons, like, come here, I'm going to show you how to comment, and I'm going to show you how to use Mop and Glow. Like, it wasn't that. It was just living in a house where I saw my mom was a housewife. She was a June Cleaver who cleaned, cooked, and did the laundry. And it was, I mean, it's a 50s, 60s, I guess baby boomer, I don't know what the generation would, nuclear family, right? I mean, look at Leave It to Beaver. It was June and Ward went to work and June stayed home and made sure the kids did their homework and cooked and cleaned and paid the bills and kept up on the house. Very, very stereotypical family dynamic. But she would always, of course, enlist the kids. We dried dishes for my mom. She would do the dishes, but we had to dry them. Every once in a while, when it was house cleaning time, because company was coming or a holiday was coming and we were going to host people or whatever the case may be, she put us to work, right? And it wasn't mop the floor. It was like get under the table with a rag full of Pledge and get the dining room table legs. That kind, because we were small and we could crawl under the table, it was that kind of stuff. Like, go wipe this down. Like, she would give us very specific instructions. So we weren't just like, wiping the drapes down. It was just like, go over there and just wipe this table down with this or whatever. So we were mom's helpers. My brother didn't like it. Of course, don't tell me what to do, right? That teenage, I'm the boss of me. But I took to it. The lesson that I got out of all that, and it wasn't like, I guess I could write the book and say, oh God, I'm so glad my mom taught us to be clean and, keep up on yourself. But the long-term effect that had on me in a way where modern day now, right now, I keep up on my house. Now, you're wondering, well, what's the point of all that? Why are you telling us about the fact that you know how to clean a house and you know how to keep your house? And, right, I just know how to do my dishes and scrub my toilet and clean my shower and, make sure the floors are clean and vacuum and dust and, if you see it, clean it, that kind of thing. Bathroom mirror, all the spots, that kind of stuff. So what long-term effect sunk in on me was the fact that I know how to clean a house. If I had to clean a house, I know how to do it. It's not like, what do you mean I don't know how to do dishes or clean a house. So when it came time for me to figure out something that I could do and possibly make money doing, that was a natural skill set that I already had built in. I knew how to scrub a floor. I knew how to do grout work. I knew how to get behind a toilet seat with a sponge and some rubber gloves. I knew what all those, I love the cleaning style, right? It's like, oh, I know that scrubbing bubbles and, oh God, the Lysol products or whatever you use, the bleaches, the Fabulosas, all that stuff. I got it. I speak cleaning department, right? So going into that, I thought, well, I'm just going to have to hustle. I had these two friends that were like hiring me under the table every once in a while. It was kind of like hey, I'm going out of town. It's been like 4 months. Come on over and give it a big sweep while I'm out of town. Kind of clean my house. And then I had another couple friends that worked like 70, 80 hours a week. So they were never home or they were rarely home. And when they were home, they didn't have time to clean. They were tired. They were exhausted. They were paying the bills and passing out in front of the TV and going to bed and waking up for the next day of 12 hours of work. And then the rest of their time, they were maintaining their house. So yeah, there was like this need and this gap. Plus, I was at their house and I was looking around. I mean, we're friends. So I was like looking around going, they need like a good clean. They need a good like scrub down. So I offered it and it became kind of a semi-regular thing. It wasn't an income. It wasn't major money. It was like, wow, I'm just loaded. I'm making so much. I'm making a salary during their cleaning every once in a while. No, it was just kind of do a friend a solid and make a small little, $50, $75 kind of, money. hustle economy. This was 2009, 2010, right? This is in that era of like this 10 years ago. I decide to find the niche. If I'm cleaning houses for gay friends who trust another gay man to come into their house and clean, right? Well, there's my niche. I thought, well, why don't I do this? I will advertise on Craigslist and I will put it out there that I'm a gay dude, I'm a gay man who wants to just clean. Hey, gay dudes, do you need a house cleaner that you can trust? Do you need a house cleaner that you don't have to worry about cleaning up the sex accessories or whatever you don't have to worry about feeling some sort of gay shame because you have nude paintings or I don't know what. Listen, I thought about it. I'm like, well, if I wanted a stranger to come into my house to clean it, what would be the least painful? Oh, a fellow gay dude who would not care that you have, like, again, porn out or something. I don't know. Like, I know gay men. Listen, I've been to their houses. Could you imagine just like, again, the straight female house cleaner who's walking to the house and the toys are out. Oh, Steve, did you forget to put away the toys? Oh my God, the cleaning lady's coming. You know what I mean? Like, I thought of this niche. I was like, okay. And I based it on the fact that my friends were paying me like $50, $75 for a full day of cleaning. I was at their house for like 4 to 5 hours, scrubbing it down and giving it a good once over so that it was like a reset. And it was therapeutic for me in a way, just cleaning, putting on music in my headphones and just bopping away and scrubbing the bathrooms and scrubbing, again, dusting and making sure the sinks and everything is scrubbed down, everything looks good and clean and fresh, like you reset the place. Oh, let me tell you, as a child, when that happened, it always happened around the holidays, obviously, like when company was coming and we were having people over. Oh yeah, we had to clean that place up, make it look cute. But day to day, but when you reset it like that, oh man, oh man. It's a lovely thing. So at the end of the day, I was like, okay, put an ad out there and be like, hey, gay men. Hey, gay men. Need a house cleaner who you can trust? It's me. I'll come in and I won't care. I will scrub it down and we'll make it cute. Let's do it. Cash only, right? Like, just keep it clean. And P.S., no sexual enticement. Oh, no. We weren't doing some sort of like, yeah, I'm going to do some wink house cleaning. No, that was not the case at all. It wasn't like house cleaning with the happy ending, right? No, that was not, again, going back to the principles of what I failed to do in comedy for an audience who wanted a sexually, driven comic voice, fell flat. So in the same, I wanted to be a professional and that's not my game, man. I want to be taken seriously so that people in this, NBC can take me seriously or something, right? Some intangible agent or person who's like, this guy's legit because he's not filthy. Great, right? Same thing with the cleaning thing. I purposefully was like, oh, no, keep this legit because the minute it turns into that, then you're just basically kind of a cleaning prostitute. And nothing wrong with prostitution. Listen, sex workers, get your life, right? I'm with it. I applaud that work. However, that's not my bag, baby. It wasn't my game. That's not what I was doing. I was legitimately trying to just clean. It worked. It somehow worked for a while. It was like a good 6 to 8 month run. Maybe I'll stretch it out if I can remember correctly, because I know I was coming like every 2 weeks for quite a while for some people. It was straight up like 9 months of hustle economy, cleaning houses. Like I would do 2 in a day, and then I would end up doing like 6 to 7 a week, but it would be on a rotation. Actually, I think it was like 4 to 5 a week, but there was rotated every other week. So I would do this house this week, another house the next week, and come back to the first house the second week. So I was basing this schedule of a Monday through Thursday or Monday through Friday daytime, because that's when most people go to work, right? They don't want to be home while you're cleaning, and you don't really want them home while you're cleaning because that's kind of weird, I think, unless they're in like some guest house or some back office and you're just doing your thing and they don't mind, right? But I didn't like cleaning when somebody was home. That just felt weird because it was like they're going to either be watching or I'm going to be in the way or they're going to be in the way. Either way, it worked. I was hustling and making some money, and I was bringing in I'd say at least $300 a week because I planted these $75, and some houses were $50, and some houses were $100. I was basing it on size, cleanliness, number of rooms, and number of requests. Some people just kind of wanted to breeze through a quick vacuum, a quick light dusting, a wipe down of things. And I had some clients where I straight up thought, why am I cleaning this house? I'm not kidding. I had some people, I had polar opposites. There was one guy, I was like, this guy is the filthiest dude ever. Oh my God, how do you live like this? Dust and hair and just piles of things, and it was just unbelievably he didn't live in filth, but he definitely never when I reset his apartment, it was almost like one of those makeover shows where he came home and almost cried because I'm like, and here's your new bed, and they're like, oh my God, I can see the floor now. What? Where did that go? I was almost on that hoarder's level of I'll take care of it, I'll make it cute. And I did it. I had a guy who was a hoarder. Well, I should say I had a widow whose husband was a hoarder. I had to clean their house, and that was Hoarders Jr. on TLC. I'm not kidding. It was so bad. But yeah, I was surprised because, again, my clientele was mostly all gay men or gay couples. And some of you gay men, I'm telling you, you could hear about that stereotype of how, twee and clean and neat and pristine and whatever layer of stereotype you want to put on gay men, how everything is fabulous and spotless and beautiful and everything looks like a Palm Springs house or whatever, you know what I mean? You could put all that on a gay stereotype, but I'm about to break that stereotype. There are very filthy gay men that they do not know how to clean up after themselves. They're filthy. So, real talk. It just happens. They're not all what you think they are. And so I took care of that. And then, I love that there's a crow playing in the background. Anything can happen while we're live, I'm telling you. So he's here to talk about the filthy gay men's houses. That's really what it's about. So this one widow offered $200, and she was like, "Come over and clean my outdoor patio area, clean my this porch area that hasn't been cleaned in years and years." And what I didn't realize when I was walking into is that her husband, who had passed away a couple years ago at least, was essentially a Y2K hoarder. So when the millennium fears of Y2K paranoia were happening and everyone was freaking out that when the year 2000 hits, the computers are going to explode and no one's going to be able to, bank machines are going to go awry and everyone's going to rob people and all the computers will shut down and, oh man, we're in trouble, America. The purge will start now. This guy hoarded water and supplies and camping gear and all sorts of random things to we're going into the bunker and we're going to hide out while the Y2K thing happens. Ugh, he did that. So not only I had to clean this patio, but then I was dealing with a depressed widow, right? No fault of her own. She was depressed. Her husband passed away. So the cat urine, was unbelievably caked. It just smelled. I probably should have seen a doctor after I cleaned that house because I was my eyes were watering. I had to go outside and breathe after a while. I mean, It was everything I picked up, like a tumbleweed of cat hair just exploded. It was so bad. So bad. Yeah. And I mean, I did what I could. I sweated my face off. I felt accomplished. I got the floor completely clear. I got it mopped. I got everything kind of outside where it needed to be so they could reset their life and get that patio back. Because that was the real goal, was empty it. It wasn't like empty it, clean it, and then put it all back so it looks great. It was essentially like this level of get it to where I could walk through it again and not be completely embarrassed or grossed out. We did it. The only thing I didn't move was like this giant weight set. But everything else was like off the floor, outside by the garage, in the trash pile, wherever it needed to go. We took care of it. It was a good thing. They had to do this. It was definitely a little bit of a hoarder's level house because you could tell. There was loss, there was depression, there was a lot of sadness in that place. But they left me alone to my devices in that place, and whew, man, I'm sure my lungs do not forgive me for that day. Because it was awful. After a while, it kind of dried up. There was one guy, I should have forgot about this story. There was this one guy who I cleaned, and I felt like a part of him wanted to make this a happy ending cleaning. His place was all right. I mean, it wasn't filthy, but it definitely had some dust. Vacuuming needed to happen. His kitchen needed a little tidying up, that kind of thing. But it wasn't like, oh man, I gotta scrub, this guy's shower is disgusting. It wasn't anything like that. It was just more like a keep it tidy. And one day he came home while I was there. I think he was coming home from work or I don't know. But there was this sort of awkward, slow take conversation. And I felt this weird like, is he hanging out or talking to me like, well, while you're here, like it was that close, but it didn't happen. And I kind of left confused. Maybe he left, when I left, he probably was confused too, because he didn't put it out there that strong. It was like this weird, like almost talking to you and staring at you, expecting you to start it. But he never could start it himself, if that makes sense. Like, he was like, yeah, you're cleaning. Yeah, great. Waiting for you to say something about, yeah, you want, it never happened. I kept my nose clean and never happened. It dried up. I think it's because it's not because I got tired of it. I mean, it was just, again, I was an independent cleaner. I was bringing in cash, paying as what I could on my bills just to sort of stay alive. It was a thing. And I think it just dried up because either there was changes to the schedule because some people couldn't afford it anymore, and no fault of theirs. They just were like, it's not in our budget anymore. We don't really need a cleaner right now. We're good. Thanks for what you did. That kind of thing. But it became like I think we're good now. You got it really clean. We're good. I don't have to spend this money. There was one client downtown LA. That was the house. I was like, why am I here? Why am I here? And they had money. They were in like a top floor condo penthouse thing. Everything was new and stainless steel, and it was money. Double income, no kids. They had money. But it was that type of place where I was like, I feel like I'm going to do more damage than good by cleaning this place. If I do the wrong chemical, I'm going to mess up their expensive wood floors or, you know what I mean? Like, I was like worried about like scratching something. I'd be like, oh my God, your pristine, faucet thing, like your spigot on your faucet is like, like what? So, yeah, I remember these kind of things. Like, I was observing how they lived, and I was like, man, I wish, I couldn't see myself living in a place like that because it's so like almost like a hospital where it's just like everything is just so clean and so crisp. You're like, yeah, I just want to take my shoes off and throw them in the middle of the floor and make a mess. Like, it was just like, no, this looked like a Sims game. It was so clean. It was like, and I felt like I was taking their money. I felt I was like overworking it for no reason. I could have just probably cheated through it, but sure enough, I'm sure they would have some like security cam, like, you were in our apartment for 30 minutes. You barely did anything. We're not paying you. No, I did the work. I did the work. That being said, the cleaning gigs dried up. I needed some supplementary income, obviously, and I just chased work. And my friend Faith, at the time Faith, now Kai, she was working at this auto warranty place. Well, I mean, okay. She was like, yeah, you should work here. I'm making money. It's allowing me to be a comic, and I'm bringing in dollars and all these things. And I'm like, oh, okay, let's try it. I mean, I'm not really making a ton of money on this cleaning thing. And if this is a job, and you're a friend I trust, let's take a shot. Let's see what happens. Let's, why? Any money source is a good source. Let's try anything. Because up to that point, I was like, let's just throw it on the wall and see if it sticks. Why not? If it's going to bring in money, great. Well, we're climbing an uphill battle right off the bat. First of all, auto warranty. Now, I didn't know anything about the place or what they actually did, but even just hearing auto warranty made me go, ooh, I don't really know enough about cars. I don't really know enough to talk car talk. I barely know my own car. What does this really involve? Well, went to an interview. This guy interviewed me about things, and it was pretty non-invasive, and it almost seemed like we're just gonna make sure you're not crazy and crazy enough to just get in here. So get in here, kid. We need another warm body. Get in here. Okay. So I get in there. What was I getting myself into? Bad idea. Now, I didn't know it at the time, but once I got through the 1.5 day of training, I knew that I was not going to be long for this world. I knew that this job was going to be a failure on impact. And you go, well, why? Why would it be a failure? Why wouldn't you just give it a good college try? Give it a fair shake. What's wrong with it? It was this, I'm sure somebody out there has heard of this or has not gotten this call. We are calling about your car. We see that your warranty's out or about to expire. We'd love to extend your warranty. Oh, God. I was that guy for 3 scant weeks. 2 weeks too long. Ooh, it was the worst cutthroat level of sales garbage this was a job that taught me a very important lesson. I can't knock it so hard that it's like, it did me no good, but it taught me a very quick, deliberate, and instant lesson. That lesson was, if you don't believe in the product you are selling, nor if somebody pitched that to you the way that you are trying to pitch it to someone else, you should not be trying to sell it. Or, I'm in no position to sell something that I cannot. And this is what that job taught me, lesson-wise. It was, we're trying to hustle people on the notion that their car warranty was about to be up. And if they didn't pay for this extended warranty, woe betide to them if their engine explodes or their tires pop off and all 4 of them just fly off their car and their transmission explodes and bursts into flames. But that's how it was. It was sales. It was hard sales to try to fear base somebody into giving you $1,000, $1,400, $2,000, $3,000 to extend their warranty for 2, 3, or 5 years, depending on the vehicle, and da-da-da-da-da. Well, major problem. I don't know enough about cars that if I tried to pitch or sell something about a car to somebody in the ways of, your car might have a problem, and here's what it could be, I was like a cold caller doing a cold script and a cold reading who didn't know what I was even talking about when it came to like, oh, you're this ring or that C ring or this oil fixture or what. I didn't know anything enough about any car, what a chassis, and I'm like, oh, what? I didn't know any of that. Now you're like, well, you could just get a playbook or some sort of like fudge through it. And they did. They gave you a website about, it was like called like carproblems.com or something. So you could use cheat notes about like, hey, did you know your 2001 Jeep could explode in the next 5 years? Because we read here on Consumer Reports or, carproblems.com that the biggest problems with a Jeep Cherokee of 2001 is that your transmission will go off first. And that's usually within the first 6 years. Or, you know what I mean? Like you BS your way through probability of what your car what could happen to your car. And you laid that fear into it. Like, oh man, if you don't do this, whoo, you could be out thousands, and wow, can you afford a new car? Like all these fear scenarios. Well, the problem was I would have, if anybody pitched any of this to me, if anybody called me and said, hey, your 2001 Hyundai is, going to fall apart and explode, you need this warranty, I'd laugh them off the phone. Because I don't fall for a hard pitch. I don't fall for you need this. And if you don't get it, life will explode. You're the worst. You should get it. I don't fall for that hard sale at all. Ever. I just don't. So, and knowing that it was a ruse to try and get somebody to extend a warranty, mixed with the fact that I was trying to do this to people I could clearly tell couldn't afford it. And you're talking to a broke kid. You're talking to a poor kid. You're talking to a kid who doesn't have money and wealth. So why would I buy and extend a warranty? Much less, why would I try to make a 68-year-old person on, whose husband's on Social Security, try to save their 1998, Altima or whatever. I don't know what they're driving. Some old thing that's like, yeah, that car Blue Book value is only like $5,000. Why am I trying to get them to buy a $2,000 warranty? If I had because I was doing the math in my head, if I had a $5,000 car and the engine exploded and it would cost me $5,000 to fix it, I'd get a new $5,000 car before I'd get I'll just put a new engine in it. Like, no, I don't care. Unless it's the car. Like, this is the car I have to have. It's the perfect car. I will never get rid of it. That's not... I couldn't do it. And what made it worse? The people in charge were jerks. They were not friendly. They tried to be all kumbaya and we can do it. Sales team, go, go, go. We got this. You got this? Yeah. You can do it. They would obviously try to overcome all your excuses and obstacles. But instead of just being polite and endearing about it, they were jerks about it and just caustic and just not friendly about it. Like, well, that's your problem. Bleh. Like, you're not doing enough because you don't have the right mindset. They were right. I could not scam people on BS auto warranties that I didn't trust. I didn't believe that these things were actually legit and going to be what I'm selling them. And my conscience stepped in and went, don't be that guy. Don't be that guy who has to hate himself for doing what he's doing to human beings and their money. Because you would never in your day let somebody do that to you. I ain't gonna fall for some extended warranty game or some pitch. Come on. I need to see it in black and white. I need to see the fine print details. I need reviews if this is actually legit. This is not. Well, you sound like a friendly human being. Let me go ahead and just say yes. Because my 2000 Hyundai needs a warranty. No. Depreciation value on cars is, and it's like mixed with the fact of depreciation value, but mixed with the fact that there's this level of, I lived in disposable car land. Like every car I got, I was like, well, if this one dies, I'll just get a new one because I'm not going to repair this thing. The value of this car is so little that it'll cost me more to fix it than it would for me to just get a new one. So, Yeah, it was really weird. Like, I just felt awful, the pit in my stomach. And if you don't make enough sales, if you don't hit the quota, they let you go. It was a fresh breath of air to be let go of that place. Oh, it was so... When they brought me to the office, I knew it was coming because you saw other people get laid off. So you knew the death march to the office. Right? It was like, oh, there he goes. There goes Steve. He's about to get walked out. You won't see him on Monday, right? They did the same to me, but it was like, thank you. God, thank you. You've let me go. Oh, you're doing me a favor because I hate it. I didn't make any money. I barely made anything. I think I had like 2 sales in 3 weeks. I was not good. There are other people in that office who were just, my friend Faith, she could do it. She got by. She wasn't top dog. There was this guy who was like making it happen for half the office, but not me. I was not a contributor. Oh, bad. But the lessons, again, when you take a crappy job like that and you're just trying anything because you don't know what to do and you're lost. The theme of this podcast should be, I'm lost. Where do I go? What am I doing? Because I didn't know. I really didn't know. And I had no direction. So what does a guy do when he has no direction and the money is not coming in? I was slowly choking and, eating my feelings and being very just like squirrely. I was living with my then boyfriend, but we weren't really in a relationship. We were, but we weren't. We were, I guess, putting on a face of like, we're just in this relationship because we lived together and we committed. We went to 4 years. We're in it. But that's when it should have ended. It went on for like another 2.5 years. Because part of my nature is not to just kill it and move on. It was like, I want to give it a chance. I'm a good soul. I want to make it work. And it just didn't. Yeah, it was a bad idea. Bad idea. So I'm out there lost, wandering the desert. I don't know what I'm doing. I decide that, obviously the relationship is going to crumble any minute. I'm wandering the earth trying to figure out what I want to do. And, again, I had to think. I had to get really clever and go, I got to make some money. I have to make some money. I have to bring in a steady income or I will choke and be on the streets. I don't know what I got to do, but I got to do something. And I do something. It's coming. But we're going to talk about that on Friday. Yeah, you saw it coming. Come on. I led right up to it. Listen, we can't talk about all the jobs at once. In fact, the next job, this is where, again, this is tying into this is what I'm talking about right now. If I can't believe in the product, I cannot sell it. I cannot move forward being a pitch person for the place I'm working. So I'm currently in that position. I get rid of that. The house cleaning is sort of still there. My friends are still throwing me a bone. I'm choking. I gotta get a job. I gotta do something. But what? What am I gonna do? Tune in Friday, darlings. Tune in Friday. I will share it all with you, and you will find out what turns me into I cannot trust corporations anymore kind of guy. What? Who? What? That's shocking. After what you've been through, you can't trust big corporations? Come on. Go on. No, you're going to find out. You'll find out on Friday. Darlings, it's been a pleasure as always. As you see, the Palm Springs sun is up and waiting for me to enjoy. I'm so glad you could join me. For my podcast listeners, I'm sorry. I'll just send you a picture. You'll see it online. I'll put it in my Instagram and my, my Twitter and just tell you we're on location for New Job Who Dis. And whoo, do I need it? Oh, we all need it. Thank you again, my 11 listeners, as always, tuning in every week. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All my new listeners, come back again. Stay a while. Get in the pool. That's what we're here for. We're getting down to the wire. We're getting the big notes are coming, darling. We've hit some pretty good boulders, but boy, we're gonna hit a rock coming up. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, tell do all the things. And I'm gonna say it again. I almost gave it away. No spoilers, people. I say it every week, and you know it. Sing along with me, my friends. 11 listeners, you know the notes. Tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your brother, tell your sister, tell everyone. This has been New Job. Who dis?